Sailing around Tasmania, finally it's time to go. I'm thrilled. I have been here quite often, with hiking boots, backpack, sea kayak, but never on an ocean-going vessel. Tasmania is large, larger than any Mediterranean island, 1.5 times larger than Switzerland, so it will take me some time to get around. Tasmania is below 40-degree latitude. Here in the Roaring Forties, the low-pressure systems come all the way from Cape Horn, and no land hinders them. That means at the west coast, the swell can easily be 6 meters or more. The art of sailing means you want to get around these systems, so you need to find a safe anchorage before a low-pressure system sets in. Under no circumstances you want to get caught here in the open ocean.
Launceston, Tuesday morning, 6 o'clock. The tide is running downstream, I take off. Unfortunately, I'm not the only one. Rowers are tough as nails. I have to be very careful not to run over anyone. My room to maneuver in the fairway is narrow. After 6 hours, the tide turns and the tamer turns against me. I drop anchor. It has become wide here. Freighters for wood chips are moored at the quay, and in the north it flows into the Bass Strait into the sea. The north coast doesn't have many anchorages. When the wind shifts, and it shifts constantly, they are very quickly unprotected. Fortunately, there's the harbour in Stanley. It's a tourist resort, or at least what one understands under tourism in Tasmania. There are other visitors. During the day, the little penguin fish in the sea. Then they navigate to the coast. Nobody knows exactly how they navigate, and come ashore to their offspring. Here they are unguided and shy. Flashing cameras would drive them away. Red light is okay. Tomorrow the low pressure system should be gone. Then I can set off for the west coast. The Bass Strait merges into the ocean, eddies and currents. Flocks of birds are fishing. A majestic swell is running. REYKJA enters the Indian Ocean for the first time. Gannets are around. Next day I reach Hell's Gate. It's the entrance to the Macquarie Harbour. Not a harbour as the name suggests, but a fjord. Large rivers flow out here. That's why the current in Hell's Gate is always against you. It hasn't rained much recently, and I have been waiting for the flood. So REYKJA is slow, 6 knots would be normal, but I get through. I'm interested in 3 areas in Macquarie Harbour. There used to be 2 towns in Kelly Basin. They were connected to mines by railway and ship. Around 1900, a mining company based in London went bankrupt. The jungle has ruled here for 100 years. I tried to find my way through it. discover railway tracks that lead into a tree, then into water. A lorry is overgrown by a blackwood tree. The former jetty looks like this today. Finally, I find a brick kiln and a boiler. You can walk along the former railway line today. The second place that interests me is completely different. The Gordon River is quite unspoiled. You can sail on it with an ocean-going vessel for 20 miles, 40 kilometers. Windless days on these rivers in the southwest are legendary. Then you can hardly tell the difference between landscape and its reflection. I anchor at a place where there's supposed to be a trail. I actually find it. Some passages are special. Not really hiking, but bushwalking. And it gets worse when you lose the path, then it's bush bashing. When I pick up the anchor, I get a surprise. He has fished a branch. The branch is so heavy that I can't lift it. I just have to hold on tight and lower the anchor again. I'm lucky to get rid of it. I can't imagine if I'd called a whole tree. The water is so murky that diving for my anchor would have been a game of chance. The fresh water in the south contains tannin, looks like tea, and taste is soft. I decide not to anchor in the Gordon River again. That's easy to say because I know of a jetty. From here on, it is no longer a river for sailing boats. Only dinghies are advisable because there are nasty rocks and sunken trees. I reached the point where the Franklin River flows into the Gordon. It's getting narrow and shallow now. So this definitely is a place for kayaks, and I'm feeling bad in an outboarder. I first grab it and I don't make it. With the outboard and tank, the dinghy is too heavy to pull. So I turn round and enjoy the bit I have managed. A few more trips ashore. Then I head downstream and cheekily spend the night at the jetty of the tourist boats. I hope they'll call it a night, like me. The last part I'm interested in is called Birches Inlet. It protects me from the strong winds that have now set in, and it has got 2 navigable rivers. There is a hut for ornithologists on one of them. I set off in search of it. There are birds, but my outboard scares them away. I'm getting increasingly annoyed. I try to row, but the river becomes narrow. Too narrow, I get tangled up in the trees. Eventually I discover the hut. From there I have my first view over the expanse of the southwest. Here too I look for former industrial plants. Here's the old jetty, and if you look on the other side, it's total impenetrable jungle. It's incredible how fast nature strikes back. Trees have been felled, mighty human pines, and transported away. The Roaring Forties have run riot. I wait another night in the shelter of the Macquarie Harbour. And then venture out onto the churning sea. Southwards. It's supposed to be getting wilder down there.